Hi, welcome to TechEd 2010. My name is Todd Klindt and I'm a Windows SharePoint Services MVP.
My name is Rosenthal. I'm a trainer and consultant based in Brisbane, Australia. I'm primarily in the Microsoft space with server and client and primarily deployments.
Yeah, my name's Stuart Celarier and I'm an MVP on Connected Systems. I'm a regional director from Portland, Oregon.
I like to drop into the TechNet and MSDN forums every once in a while and see what those guys are doing. I have a highly popular blog about SharePoint. Really, it's just my mom and her friends, but they seem to love it. I do a lot of community events. I do user groups, SharePoint Saturdays. I get to see the country doing that kind of stuff. And I'm huge on Twitter. I am one of the readiness trainers. So I go around Australia talking to community groups as well as to partners about what's going to be coming up within the Microsoft space. As well as that, I'm involved with a couple of the user groups within Brisbane, which is my hometown. So the Brisbane Infrastructure User Group and also the Small Business Server Group, and been involved with the PowerShell group as well. Well, this week I'm doing a couple sessions. We've already done one session on upgrading SharePoint 2007 to SharePoint 2010, and then tomorrow I'm going to do a session on using Windows PowerShell with SharePoint 2010. For all of us developer or administrators who've been forced into using Windows PowerShell, I'm going to try to ease that transition a little bit. Also spending a lot of my free time at the TLC, the SharePoint booth down there, answering questions, hanging out with people. Got a new book that's coming out, so I'm doing a book signing at noon today about that, giving some free books away, cracking some jokes, just generally soaking up the atmosphere, hanging out with my fellow nerds. Show's been really good. It's a really good vibe this year. It's like it's a party town, so everyone's kind of really getting into the spirit. So far it's been like I've done a certification prep session, so getting people ready for a particular exam for it was an OEM pre-installation exam for Windows 7. And then as well as that, I've been hanging out with the certification guys in the cert booth, just explaining to folks about how to get certified in Microsoft products.
Well, actually I'm here at TechEd helping chair the Birds of a Feather sessions, which are community-driven, community-selected, community-participating conversations, discussions with your peers. And I've been doing that. This is, I believe, my 9th Microsoft conference where I help make those happen.
So there's a lot of great sessions. Been keeping busy. I'm looking to drop in some of the sessions. A lot of new products are coming out now. We got a new version of SharePoint, new version of Exchange and all that. So just trying to soak up all the new things that I'm going to be seeing, in the next year, and just taking advantage of all the crazy events that Microsoft's got planned this week.
In the upcoming year, as I said, my sort of space is primarily deployment. So the thing that I'm most excited about this year is that there's going to be a lot of the companies in Australia that are transitioning now across into Windows 7. So it's actually looking at seeing the implementation of all the stuff that they've been learning over the last sort of year or so about how to do deployments and how to make them easy. So this year is going to be the Windows 7 year.
Very good. A little bit long hours, out late working the parties and business connections, and started again at 8 this morning, so that was a little bit of a jar, but I try and squeeze in just as much as I can.
Well, so the next year is going to be huge. SharePoint 2010 just came out. I'm a SharePoint guy, so I expect to spend a lot of time with that. Also just had a new SharePoint 2010 book come out, Professional SharePoint 2010 Administration, available from Rocks Publishing. So I'm expecting next year will be huge sales and accolades from that. Expecting maybe some time on Oprah's couch talking about the SharePoint 2010 book, but just basically going out and showing the world how great SharePoint 2010 is.
Ooh, actually, because they just announced .NET 4 on Azure and IntelliJ, I'm going to be sharpening my skills there, looking for some chances to do some Azure app development, and that's going to be a huge improvement for me.
The most exciting part really about being in New Orleans is just being at TechEd and actually hanging out with other peers, with people that I know from around the world that all gather here for gather at TechEd for a week, and you kind of get the spirit and get to be able to talk to partners and to, as I said, fellow geeks, and being able to be very comfortable in your geekiness.